So I think of our mission, purpose, and values. And our mission is we serve amazing. One person, one meal, one experience at a time. We don't do Mexican food the easy way. We do Mexican food the right way.
Welcome back to Delivering More, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Ben Alkire. Thank you for consuming the content morning, afternoon, and evening. As always, if you could, hit that subscribe button down below. That's going to help us out more than you could ever know. This is a great show I got to bring to you folks today. We are live in Salt Lake City at Costa Vida headquarters with the reoccurring guest on the DeliveringMore platform, Allen Beck.
Yeah, second time. Glad to be back. Glad to be back.
That reoccurring status is big time.
Yeah. Hey, there's very few, right?
I think the only reoccurring guests are Aaron and John.
Oh,
I'm
there
pretty
we
sure
go.
Maybe Darian. Darian's been on a handful of
okay,
time. Yeah.
sweet.
So yeah, that's good company to keep.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, I appreciate you allowing us into your guys' headquarters, your home office. It's been a hell of a couple days here. We've been kind of on a sprint. I know it's been a busy week for you, but how are you feeling after these couple days so far?
You know, this week's been crazy. We launched our new app and website this week, and have a lot going on. But super exciting. Glad to get through the last few days. You know, our partners with It's Plain Air and Spengo have really stepped up, and the issues that have arisen, they've been able to work through quickly. So really appreciate the partnership with them, and it really helps solidify our decision in choosing them as partners. To see how they reacted to some adversity and to be able to navigate through that quickly.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about that a little bit more. Obviously, building a new website and a brand new native app is a massive undertaking, to say the least. A pretty general question I think to start is, what functionality were you guys looking for or found out that you needed, or were customers looking for better service from a product, or what were you guys really trying to build with this new product you're offering?
Great question. So a few things that we really looked at with this app build out was, one, we wanted to be able to create the ability to customize your order online as if you're going into our store. That's one thing that sets Costa Vida apart from many other brands or restaurant chains, is that there's hundreds of thousands of different combinations that you can make your food, from the sauce that you get to the beans that you get to the type of protein that you get. And so through our guest surveys, we found that our guests, we love your food, but I can't order it online the same way that I can when I walk through the line or go through the drive-through. And so we needed to create that functionality for them. That was the first and foremost at the very forefront of our mind, is making sure that we're giving them exactly what they're looking for, and being able to do that also from an operation side of things where we can execute on it. So, we definitely opened up the floodgates a little bit, but we didn't open them up all the way. But we made it a lot easier for them to be able to navigate and customize their orders. That was number one. And then the second one that we really wanted to really focus on was our ability to deliver and combat our third-party commission fees. And so we've made it easier for customers to be able to order delivery, made it easier for them to, even if they have an issue with a delivery, now we own that. We can take care of the customer in the way that we see fit, rather than having a third-party company writing a refund check on our behalf.
For sure.
So
I know there's a lot of discussion in regard to rewards. I know the rewards vocab word was thrown a lot. So what about, I know there's a lot of active accounts that had to get moved over and things like that. But obviously even as a consumer myself, I mean, I could list brands very specifically that I know do rewards very, very well. And there's brands who have some catching up to do, where I'm like, you're giving me these points, but I can't redeem anything for. Like, what are they even for? So was that another facet that you guys were looking to help some consumers out a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually completely revamped our rewards program. Our rewards program before was, if you spend X, you got Y. If I go and spend $40 at Costa Vida, I got $5, $10, $15 as in rewards, and that was pretty much it. It didn't really incentivize you much to try out the menu or to do different things. And so pharmaceutical reps or executive assistants or front desk workers who are ordering lunch for their staff. It's great. That's a great reward for a period of time. But now what we've done is we've changed it from just a dollar amount, and there's different things that you can get. You can earn a free entree. You can earn free appetizers. You can earn it, and then you can be able to, in the future, you're going to be able to spend it on swag, things of that nature. And so now it's more of a program that's designed both for guest and for operator. If we're running an LTO, we can give you a specific reward for that LTO rather than having 20 or 30 bucks in your account to be able to just spend on whatever. And so it helps you as a consumer kind of make those decisions. I kind of think of it like if you're at the dinner or you're going out to dinner with somebody, and you're like, where do you want to go to dinner? I don't know. You pick. And then you throw out a myriad of options, and they're like, I don't want to do any of those. Versus if you say option A or option B, they're like, I like option B better. Let's go there. Similar idea there.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense on my end. Some things I don't know, if we're at liberty to discuss too much, but I know, revamping as a whole, the catering program, obviously DeliverThat, third-party provider for you guys in terms of your last-mile delivery. And that's really the reason we came out here, to kind of further our partnership, make sure our drivers understand the full education process and your guys' expectations as a brand for that delivery piece. And Vanessa was unveiling a little bit to me in terms of you guys are revamping some packaging, which I know is a massive sticking point for a lot of drivers out there, whether it's packaged well or it's packaged very poorly. We hear about it, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the amazing. So anything we can reveal in terms of that? I know I was a little upset we didn't get to reveal it in the content we'll be producing with you guys collaboratively, but I'm excited to anticipate what will be.
Yeah, we're close enough. It's Thursday, November 9th. We're going to be launching January 1st across the brand. But what we've gone is we've spent a lot of time. This has been a little over a year, about 18 months in the making, where we've completely revamped our catering packaging with many of the things that you just mentioned in mind. How is it getting delivered? How is it in transportation? How's it holding up? Things of that nature. And how's the experience from the guest? And then it helps. The other thing we looked at is what verticals are we not able to get into with our current packaging? Believe it or not, there's a lot of limitations with open flames. I mean, you guys probably know this better than anybody. Who am I telling? But limitations with open flames in government buildings or hospitals. And those seem to be a very big vertical for us. And so what we found is when we going into those verticals that we are not able to present our food with the right heating element, packaging, things of that nature. And so we were able to revamp that. And we've worked very well with a local vendor, Carpenter Paper. Shout out to Dave Demarest and Shane. Those guys are awesome.
Dave and Shane.
And they've been working with a larger vendor called Pico out of Canada. We've partnered with them and completely revamped all of our packaging that will unveil January 1st, but it's very awesome. Flameless heating elements, more consistent packaging. We've gone away from aluminum. Everything that's going on with Europe and Ukraine and Russia, aluminum prices are up and down and through the roof at times. And so we've been able to create a consistent, not only for our operators to be able to get supply chain issues resolved for them, but then also consistent. So when you order a catering in corporate headquarters in Lehigh or in Spring Hill, Tennessee, it's going to show up the same way and be delivered the same packaging with the same presentation.
Hell yeah. And you kind of, I did want to mention, you kind of listed as far east as Costa Vida goes there, Spring Hill, Tennessee, just outside of Franklin, I believe, a bit south
of Nashville.
Yeah, south of Nashville. Something we've touched on a little bit in terms of your guys' franchisee groups and then the corporate locations. You guys' foothold, obviously, Salt Lake City. I think I was telling Holly and Christian, we got to our Airbnb night one, and I Googled Costa Vida, and I'm scrolling. I'm like, guys, there's 30 locations within 20 miles. Like and you look at the map, and it's dots. It's crazy. The foothold you guys have here, and I just curious in my mind. I know in terms of expansion, some companies like to do it more of a slow burn, pick out very select locations. They put a lot behind it, make sure they're going to somewhere that will make sense for them. And some concepts are like, Here's a location. There's a
Here's
location. Yeah,
you get a location.
They're the Oprah of QSR.
Yeah,
they're just throwing it out, seeing if it sticks. Any expansion plans on the horizon? Do you guys have anything in terms of that?
Yeah, so definitely we're saturated in the Utah and the Idaho markets, and we definitely have an aggressive growth strategy to saturate the Texas market. New Mexico and Arizona are kind of like the key 3 states where we're going to saturate the market, but then there's always other areas that we're looking at, such as Vegas, Colorado, and so on and so forth. So I mean, definitely got some aggressive growth strategies going on, but I definitely know like Texas is a big one for us.
Hell yeah! Everything's bigger and better in Texas. I think I just want to kind of talk a little bit more about catering, obviously, and you know the functionality of our trip out here. We already mentioned a little bit the education piece and making sure our drivers understand the expectations here. But I did want to maybe for a broader audience, let them understand the undertaking you guys have as a catering business as a whole. Obviously, we kind of have cemented that you guys are fully invested in the catering threshold as another fundamental piece of your guys' business. You know, it's not just a random offering you guys have. You guys seem to be all in on this as a functionality and a functional piece. So to start, do you have any number on what the average order cost or ticket size is for a Costa Vida catering delivery?
Yeah, so our most commonly ordered size and bar is our 25-person taco bar. And that seems to be the most common across the brand. Obviously, maybe in some locations, it might fluctuate between the salad or the taco bar, but about 25 people, and our taco bar is our most commonly ordered bar. That's running on average here in Utah. We're at $11.99 for delivery per person, and so it's a great deal where we come, we set up, we get everything taken care of for you. All you literally have to do is walk down the line and make your food. So. Pretty good cost point, considering that when you walk into the store, you're paying anywhere between $9.49 to $12.49, depending on what protein you're getting, and you have to go to the store, park, etc. We're bringing all this to you for just $1 or $2 more.
Yeah, it's amazing, and the kind of the undertaking we decided to have when we came out here was really meeting your guys' standards and the values you guys have as a brand. Because to be quite frank and very honest, it seems to be. There is a standard, and then to me, in my mind, there's a Costa Vida standard. You kind of go well above and beyond what a lot of the other chains and QSR restaurants try to do. So candidly for you guys, what would you guys say that Costa Vida standard is? Can you put that into a short, sweet sentence or word? Or I know that's a very long-winded question, asking for a long-winded answer, but do you have like any quick words that shoot to your top of your brain?
So I think of our mission, purpose, and values. And our mission is we serve amazing. One person, one meal, one experience at a time. And so I think that pretty much, if I was going to attempt to try and sum that up.
That was great. I love
that. That's where I look at, right? That's what our focus is. We serve amazing. And it's not just in the store or in the drive-through or in catering. It's we serve amazing around in the entire business. And first, it's focused on the person. When we set that up the way we did, we focused first the people, then the food, and if you take care of those two, then the third thing just flies right in. The experience is taken care of. And we've talked a lot about that in grand openings. We had a franchisee at a grand opening one time said, "Hey, today's going to be crazy. There's going to be a lot going on, but just focus on that person in front of you and make a connection with them, and the rest of it will take care of itself."
And I know for you guys, we pull in Costa Vida headquarters. You've got branded vehicles. You got vans on site at most locations, things like that. And you mentioned getting away from third-party aggregators, I guess we would more or less call them, by utilizing your native app and website. So how does undertaking a partnership with DeliverThat help you guys in your last mile delivery piece? Is that, I imagine, like there's a ton of brands out there that have always done the first party thing.
Yeah.
And since COVID, they've kind of had to undertake, hey, we maybe have to relinquish some of that control a little bit and utilize other services. So is that a stressful process for you guys? Has it been nice? How has it been for you guys utilizing a service like ours and just diving into that new realm of how your food's actually being presented to the consumer?
Is it stressful? Yeah, it's stressful. But going through and vetting out and finding the right partner, like a DeliverThat, makes it a lot less stressful. Obviously, in the third-party marketplaces, we have DoorDash, and you have Uber Eats, and you have Grubhub, and you have Favor, you have others, right? When you have those drivers coming into your store, there's not a lot of control. There's a supply and demand, and the driver that walks in to deliver that order, you don't have much control over. So it's very stressful. They may not present themselves in a way that as we just talked about, is a Costa Vida standard. But what gives us a peace of mind is on the catering side, because they're larger orders, $250, $500, $1,000 orders, to be able to go with a partner like DeliverThat. And be able to see that when those drivers arrive, you guys have done a vetting process. They're not just showing up like they just got out of bed. They're dressed, they're branded, they got the right equipment, they're doing the right things. That takes a lot of that stress away. And it says, you know what, maybe that is more, quote unquote, more expensive than having our own people deliver that, but maybe not necessary because it's not scalable. I can't turn around and have 7 drivers tomorrow and then 2 the next day. Having a great partner like DeliverThat allows us to be able to fluctuate and scale the right way, and be able to scale fast. And then maybe we come through a few months later and we backfill some of those positions, hire some drivers on our own to be able to do it. But DeliverThat gives us the ability to take all the business on that we can at any given moment.
Yeah, and I know especially for you guys brand specifically, when you're doing the taco bars that have the racks and the sternos and all of that comes along with the setup, I imagine utilizing those other services is almost just a no-go in totality, right? Because we can't just have that food dropped off at the door and left, right? Like that just can't happen.
I actually was at dinner at a conference a few months back talking with another catering provider. And we talked about like some of the limitations that we run into, that they're very much like an A to B. They pick up and they deliver, but they're not going to set up. They're not going to give you that white glove service like DeliverThat. And they asked me, Allen, we want to get more of your business. How do we get more of your business? All asking me a bunch of these questions. I said, well, until you guys get to the standard of DeliverThat, I'm not going to give you any more of my business. And they said, well, what are they doing that we're not? And I said, and we talked a lot about that, the standards, right? Of they set up, they take care of the customers the way that as if I was delivering it, or Vanessa, my operations manager, is delivering it, or Tori, my sales manager, delivering it. They're doing that. They're setting up. They're making sure that the guest is having a positive experience, and it's to their standards. We can say it's Costa standards all we want, but it's really the guest standards. If the guests perceive that we didn't execute on a high level, then we didn't execute on a high level, whether we believe we did or not. And DeliverThat helps us continue to execute and meet those expectations and to continue to blow away those perceptions.
Yeah, and that's actually something Dominique and I spoke at length about, was just the accountability piece too. And she said something that I've heard other operators say where, even if that customer comes back and says, hey, the delivery driver didn't set up the food, or they were missing this and they're missing that, it's never, oh, well, we used a third party to deliver, so that's on them. It's always going to be
always on Costa.
Yeah, it's always so like us. There's always has to be some piece of accountability where it's going to fall on you guys, but we as the provider also have to take accountability and make sure the relationship is good with you guys. Maybe we get another shot with that customer, whether we comp that delivery, we refund the first one, things of that nature, to make sure everything's in good standing afterwards.
Absolutely. And many of the other third parties, again, as we alluded to earlier, is they're quick to cut the check on our behalf to take care of the customer that way, rather than actually doing what's necessary to take care of the customer. Great, you refunded them their money, but guess what? They still need the tortillas to serve that lunch.
Right.
So like, you did what you thought was the best, but not necessarily what actually needed to be done for that customer to feel taken care of. It's not just about padding the wallet. It's about making sure that they're taken care of. DeliverThat does an amazing job of that.
Yeah, we can't. This isn't a business of quick fixes. Like, you have to actually repair the issue.
Especially in catering.
Right.
Because if you don't repair the issue, you're not going to get that repeat business. And we know that out there that there's many businesses that have outrageous budgets for lunch. And so if you mess it up one time, you've just lost out on that massive budget that could actually help take your business to the next level.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I really don't have much more. I want to ask a couple softballs. Maybe we'll close out on a couple
Let's do
easy
it. I like
stuff.
softballs.
But still very Costa Vida specific.
Okay.
We tried Costa Vida for the first time, obviously, last night and today. It's unbelievable.
Okay.
Not
Love
blowing
that.
smoke up anyone. It is very good. The rice, top-notch steak, sweet pork, I know is a fan favorite. I threw some honey habanero on it last night on a taco. I don't know what that flavor palette is, but it's very good. That being said, I just wanted to know from your perspective, what is your favorite menu item, or do you have a favorite menu hack that the public may not know about?
Yeah, so my personal favorite menu hack, if we want to call it that, or my favorite menu item, is I love our grilled chicken, and I love it in enchiladas. And then instead of going with the traditional either mild tomatillo, roasted green chili, or red enchilada sauce, I love to get it with a queso. So queso inside, queso out. Don't look at the calorie count on that. Just know that it's going to change your life, and you'll be blown away with the taste.
Oh, the queso is very good too. I don't know you guys do something a little different, but it's good. I like it.
I'll tell you what, and this is not a shot at anybody else, no other brands. Our queso, I'll put our queso up against anybody else's queso. The way that we do it is very meticulous, and you have to do it the right way. You got to make sure that you're adding the cheese in at the right time, and you're taking your time, and you don't just crank up that
low and slow.
Low and slow, exactly. Just like you're making some brisket, because it makes a big difference. And when it's done right, man, it's next level. And when it's not done right, it's like, this is still pretty good, but we know what it could be.
We know you didn't do that the same. You know you didn't do that the same. I think my closeout question, realistically, I've been asking some operators this the last couple shows, and I just love hearing some people get a little fired up, selling their business and selling their brand and things like that. And I just want to pitch it to you in the same manner. Obviously, in this realm, Salt Lake City, I imagine just about anybody and everybody has tried Costa Vida. A few people were telling us basically almost everyone probably has a relative that works at Costa Vida or is somehow involved in the business, things of that nature. So I know everyone here probably is well aware of what you guys offer. But for a Texas market you guys are moving into, or in Arizona or Vegas, like you mentioned, if they haven't heard of Costa Vida or they've never tried it, what would you say to them to get them to come try out Costa Vida? Or what would you say they can expect when they come to Costa Vida for the first time?
So, I think about that's a really great question. And the very first thing that came to mind was when I was running stores myself. I had a district manager, and his name was Claudio. And I would ask him questions like, "Hey, why don't we do things this way?" And trying to not necessarily cut corners, but find easier ways to do things. He's like, "Allen, we don't do Mexican food the easy way. We do Mexican food the right way." And that's, I think, what sets us apart from everybody else, is that our ingredients are fresh. Our pico was made this morning. Our pork was braised and worked on for 24 hours before serving it. Our steak is the best cut of steak that we get, and we're very meticulous about that and making sure that the ingredients that come in are grade A. And again, just like we have a great partnership with DeliverThat, our supply chain team has great partnerships with our suppliers, and making sure that we're getting the best product so that we can make sure that our guests have the best experience and the best combination of ingredients that they can have.
Hell yeah. We don't make Mexican easy. We make it right.
We make it the right way.
Make it the right way. All right. That's man, it's been a whirlwind trip, I'll say. I know you had a lot on your plate these last couple of days. I felt it felt a little rushed at times, but I'm happy we got everything knocked out. I'm happy to see what comes of this in terms of the partnership and the content we'll produce moving forward. We've already been pitched a return trip in 3 to 6 months. I don't know if you were a part of that conversation, but
hey, let's do it.
Vanessa and Tori were throwing it out there a little bit. So
hey, Aaron, you gonna invite me out to Ohio, or what's up?
Yeah. We also talked about a little Pro Football Hall of Fame tour. You're more than welcome to come. We got plenty of hotels. I just bought a house.
Boom.
So if you need somewhere to stay,
hey, we'll just live. Let's do it up together.
Hey, hell yeah. I'm down. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. All your time, your hospitality, Costa Vida, doing it the right way. It's great stuff, man. I really do appreciate it.
And I just want to give just give a shout out to Ben, Holly, and Christian. You guys have been awesome coming out here. We appreciate the visit. We appreciate the time and attention that you guys have taken to this. A lot of times when we have vendors come out, they don't put together an agenda. They don't go through and have these things and do the things and show the love and care that you guys do. So it shows all the way down from the top to the bottom to the drivers or whatever it may be, that DeliverThat truly cares about their partnerships. So thank you.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. And we'll see you very soon.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you,
See
folks.
you.